king of New Jack Swing. Keith Sweat has been a staple in the R&B world for decades. His smooth vocals and undeniable charisma have captivated audiences worldwide, with hits like Twisted and I Wanna. He made us move our bodies and made hearts race. Keith Sweat was the man. Keith Sweat gave us soundtracks to our lives. But then, poof, he just vanished. So what happened? Some say it was a personal scandal that rocked his world. Others whisper about a secret love affair that tore him away from the spotlight.
And he took Athena with him and didn't take me and Levon.
And then there's the rumor mill churning about financial woes that forced him to step away from the music industry. Whatever it was, he just vanished. So what happened to the king of New Jack Swing? You're gonna want to strap in because this one's a loop-the-loop. Born Keith Douglas Sweat on July 22, 1961, Sweat used to be just a regular dude from Harlem. His mom, Juanita, had to raise him all and 4 of his siblings on her own after his dad kicked the bucket. Before he was crooning his way into our hearts, Keith Sweat was hustling as a night stock worker at Macy's. Can you imagine him stocking shelves? And then he landed a gig as a mailroom clerk at Payne Webber, a brokerage firm. But this guy wasn't just any mailroom clerk. Within 4 short years, he worked his way up to a lucrative brokerage assistant job on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Well, I always wanted to do music. My time on Wall Street was, to me, like everybody else, have to work a 9 to 5, have to do what they got to do in order to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, whatever it takes. Right. On the outside of things, when I would get off, I'd go in the studio, make music. A lot of people don't know that. I used to work with GQ, end up doing my own thing. I used to produce for Sutra Records, Morris Levy, Adam Levy. So I had songs, before I even had a hit record that I was writing and producing,
Before he was a superstar, Keith Sweat was just a regular guy in a Harlem band called Jamila. Can you believe it? With the help of his bandmates, Sweat was able to hone his skills as a lead singer by performing all over the tri-state area. Yeah, he paid his dues. After leaving the band in 1984 to pursue a solo career, he was hustling his way through nightclubs in New York City. And get this, he even landed a chance to record for the independent label Stadium Records. He only recorded 2 tunes for them, but he was credited as co-writer and co-producer of one of their first ever releases. His debut album, Make It Last Forever, dropped in 1987 and sold over 3 million copies. I mean, showstopper. I Wanna, and Make It Last Forever were basically anthems for anyone trying to set the mood. His voice and smooth vibes made him a staple in R&B, and he's been nominated for and won some serious awards over the years. In 2013, he won a Soul Train Lifetime Achievement Award. Sweat wasn't just a talented singer. He also had a knack for spotting talent. He formed a supergroup with Gerald Levert and Johnny Gill, and even discovered and helped launch the careers of groups like Silk, Old School, and Cut Close. Remember Cut Close? The girl group that had us all singing along to I Like It in the 90s? Well, it turns out their journey wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Whispers say there was some serious drama going down behind the scenes. It seems that Keith Sweat, the mastermind behind their success, had a little bit of a favorite. Athena Cage, one of the members, was allegedly given more attention and opportunities than the others.
And then they went on tour, Keith went on tour, and then he took Athena with him and didn't take me and Levon, And I'm like, how the freak do you take one person and not, it's stupid as hell. It made no sense.
Imagine feeling like you're part of something special, only to find out you're just a backup singer in your own group.
And so you start division and dissension and animosity. You start all of that stuff when you do stuff like that.
It's enough to make your blood boil. Tabitha Duncan, another member, wasn't shy about calling out Sweat on his favoritism. She spilled the tea, saying that it felt like Athena was getting all the love while the rest of the group was left in the dust. Can you imagine the tension in that dressing room? It's no wonder their collaboration eventually fell apart. It's a real shame because they were such a talented group. It gets juicier because the drama surrounding Cut Close doesn't end there. According to the rumor mill, the girls signed a publishing deal that was so bad, it's almost laughable. Apparently, they got a measly $1 for their hard work.
We wrote on the album. They were like, all right, go on to write. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to slip a publishing contract inside the record recording contract that comes 2 in 1. You know what I'm saying? Which came with us. We had the publishing contract and recording together. And we gave up our publishing for $1. Like, who the hell gives an advance for $1? $1.
Tabitha spilled the tea on the Cut Close drama, saying that they thought they were being smart by getting their own lawyer to look over their contract. But apparently, everyone in the industry was in on the joke.
We tried to avoid as much as we could and get our own little, lawyer and stuff. Was like, well, we got our own lawyer, so they won't be able to get over. Man, this business, everybody know everybody in here now.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. You think people don't know who you know, dude? These days, you better watch your mouth anyway, because you just never know who know who.
They got screwed in the end when they signed on for a 7-album deal. Keith Sweat may have given Cut Close their big break, but it seems like he wasn't exactly looking out for their best interests. The ladies signed a bad deal that left them struggling financially. While others involved in their music were making a killing, Cut Close was left with nothing. He had them all wrapped around his little finger, promising them stardom and fortune, but really, he was just using them as pawns in his own game. Even though Cut Close was featured on Keith Sweat's biggest hit, Twisted, they were still struggling to make ends meet. The music video didn't even mention them, and they were barely making enough money to take care of themselves. Tabitha finally had enough and called out Keith on his crap. She told him that they needed to make more money, but he basically told them to get a job. Can you imagine? Tabitha took her concerns to Sylvia Rohn, the CEO of Elektra Records.
I got in trouble because I used to always call Sylvia, to tell her about what Keith was doing that, wasn't really good for us. And I'm like, we signed to a record deal, but we can't work. Like, we're going to get kicked out of our house. Like, what are you doing?
Sylvia understood what was going on, but she couldn't do anything because they were Keith's artists. What a dead end. Apparently, Keith Sweat's love life has been as dramatic as his music career. He met his ex-wife Lisa Wu through connections in the music industry. Back then, Wu was a rising star in the modeling and acting world. They tied the knot in 1992 and had 2 adorable sons together. But their relationship hit a rough patch, and they eventually ended up in a messy divorce in 2002. Oh, the drama. Keith Sweat and his ex-wife Lisa Wu's divorce wasn't just any breakup. No, this was a full-blown custody battle that was a public spectacle, filled with accusations and drama. Oh, it had tabloids buzzing with juicy details. And it all boiled down to their 2 sons, Justin and Jordan. Seems like both parents wanted to be the primary caregiver, but Keith Sweat came out on top. The judge ruled in his favor, citing Wu's busy schedule with her business ventures as a hindrance to her ability to be there for the boys. Now here's where things get juicy. There were whispers, okay, maybe more than whispers, about Wu's behavior. Allegations of abuse were floating around, but the judge ultimately decided that Sweat's parenting style was a better fit for the kids at the time. Even though their marriage was a total disaster, Keith Sweat and Lisa Wu have managed to stay on good terms, especially when it comes to their kids. Wu has moved on to bigger and better things, including a stint on The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That aspect is real. So anybody that has ever hurt you, you got to release them because you'll be in bondage.
Now let's talk about Justin Sweat. He's looking to follow in his parents' legendary footsteps in the entertainment scene. You can practically feel the pressure as he tries to carve out his own identity, but it's all about that Hollywood life for Justin. Meanwhile, Jordan is taking a different approach, staying out of the spotlight and keeping things low-key. Sweat also has 3 daughters, Keisha, Kia, and Amaya, and another son named Joshua. Can you keep up? It seems like he's been busy spreading the love around. It seems like Keith has really stepped up as a full-time dad, giving his kids all the love and support they need. With him having full custody, It's clear he's dedicated to making sure they have a stable home. Now in 2013, Keith had a glorious idea and tried his hand at being a matchmaker with his own dating site.
I remember at one point you had started like a dating
site.
site.
Hell no, that ended quick.
I just thought that was such an interesting idea.
No, that
though.
ended quick, you know what I'm saying? Because if you put somebody with the wrong person, they're going to sue you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people look for any reason to sue you now.
Right.
Now, come on now. You know how, let's say you did a dating site, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said on the site, this is your site, and you putting couples together, right? And this girl is crazy.
Uh-oh. She in the bushes.
And she get with me. I'm going to blame you because
You can't. You can't blame me
you
for
should know
that.
who you signing up to your site. You say, yeah, her
And I'm
name
gonna
is-
have a disclaimer on the site.
Okay, no, your name is
That
her
once
name
you
is
join-
Crazy Roberta or something, whatever.
And while we're on the subject of lawsuits, R. Kelly, who's been in a lot of hot water lately, it seems like R. Kelly might have been looking up to Keith Sweat back in the day. Like, really looking up to him and having Sweat's lyrics influence his word. Oh, honey, did you hear about Keith Sweat's not-so-subtle ode to, let's say, a questionable romance? Right in a wrong way?
Baby, with the joy you can bring.
You know, that one where he's practically serenading a girl who's definitely not old enough to be out past curfew.
You may be young, but you're ready.
You may be young, but you're ready. Ready to learn. You're not a little girl, you're a woman. I mean, it's all charm and smooth talk, but come on, he was 26 when that jam dropped. Let's just say it raises a few eyebrows about how young his muse really was. But let's be clear, Keith Sweat's just an innocent bystander in all this. He might have been a mentor to R. Kelly, showing him the ins and outs of the biz, but there's no evidence that he had anything to do with R. Kelly's shady stuff. But it's got a lot of people talking about the music industry and how it can influence artists' behavior. The now 63-year-old Sweat is saying farewell, but not really. His Make It Last Forever farewell tour kicked off February 1st to celebrate his iconic debut album, serenading audiences in Minneapolis, Chicago, Atlanta, and Philly, with SWV, Tyrese, and Pretty Ricky joining the party. Keith Sweat's not just reliving the past, though. He's still got fans swooning over him on social media and keeps them hooked with his radio show, The Sweat Hotel.
I'm about to lay you down in the sweat.
With a net worth set at $250K, this R&B king stays busy because he's launched a line of luxury candles and bags.
It's real emotional.
On the 3rd of August 2024, Keith received the keys to the city of Harlem.
I mean, it means everything to me. I grew up on 125th Street, Grand Project. For me to have grown up on 125th Street, Grand Project, 2 blocks away from the Apollo, and get the key to the city, it just shows me that everything that I've tried to accomplish, I've accomplished it to a degree where people respect that and acknowledge what I've done in the whole game or the music game, and they can acknowledge, and I get, you know, and they're giving me my flowers while.
Seriously, is there anything this man can't do? Talk about a multi-talented guy. He's got it all, the music, the fans, and the business savvy. He's truly carved out a legacy in R&B that's just dripping with charm and romance. Still a force to be reckoned with, Keith Sweat is a legend. But he's also a contemporary artist who's keeping it fresh, and we're right here for it.